Financial capacity is an integral part that ensures the smooth running and sustainability of a social enterprise. And this is largely engineered by a very important component, and that is grant proposal writing. It is the gist of the discussion today, and allow me introduce to you an expert and consultant right here at Astute Strategists, Mr. David Luganda, who is going to break down this particular conversation for us. And if you are out there and own a CSO or an NGO or any other form of social enterprise, this is the particular discussion that you need to get a hold of on all our social media platforms. Olivia Nakalembe is my name. Mr. David Luganda, introduce yourself to everyone that is tuned in right about now.
Thank you so much, Olivia. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Luganda David. My expertise is into climate change communication. I coordinate the network of climate journalists in the Greater Horn of Africa, and I've been implementing the NDC Action Project, which is the National Determined Contribution for Uganda. And also, currently, we have just also completed the UNEP Ebafosa project in Uganda and also in Africa. And via all those projects which I've been working on, it gave me experience, and previously also working with smallholder farmers to see that we implement a number of financial projects with them, and also training a number of communicators within the climate circles. So right now, I'm dwelling much onto Astute Strategists, where I'm a consultant and mainly developing proposals, giving capacity to civil society organizations, and also making sure that we profile and also accredit these SOs so that they can build their capacity, develop proposals which are, I'm talking of bankable proposals which can get funds where to their funders where they apply. So
Mr. Luganda, the element of bankable, or the word bankable, is actually very crucial for this particular discussion. And allow me take it away. First things first. What is grant proposal writing for someone out there who is hearing this particular concept for the very first time? What is grant proposal writing?
I'll mention, we don't have any standard definition of this, but it's according to you where you stay, the particular expertise you're working or sector. But I will tell you that grant proposal is a detailed writing or anything you have come up with, so that whenever you're asking for funds or you want anything, it may not be funds, it may be aid within an organization, but it must entail the objectives, your motives, and also the methods you're going to use, which call the methodology you're going to use to implement what you're proposing to do. So most time over here in Uganda, we propose to get funds. Few of them propose to get capacity, but most of us, we get funds. So it's a detailed document which you come up with, but most times it's not a document. I've seen many people have come up with a video to write their proposal. It's a video, so they can submit a video showing exactly what they're going to do. So there are a lot of techniques you can use whenever you are writing a proposal. So it's something not a one fit all. So you can do all the methods.
I'm actually surprised and impressed. I only thought it comes through writing, but I mean, that is what Astute Strategists is here to do, to interest us with, the different trends that are actually happening in the social enterprise world. Mr. Luganda, let's now go into why is grant proposal writing important? If I own a CSO or an NGO, why is it important that I have a grant proposal written?
Most times, as civil society organizations and also social enterprise, we have to understand exactly what we do. So now, we have to know that funds are not enough. Even if you have your civil society organization, your social enterprise, just no funds are not enough. So this has pulled us to see that if the directors don't have enough funds to run the organization, there are a number of calls available whereby an organization can apply and get the funds to see that they can have impact. But I'll put this in quotes. The reason why we have to apply for these funds is to create positive impact within our community. If it's not positive impact, just do away, don't apply for that fund. So most times we have to see that there is a need. That's another reason. There is a need to see that we need to do more within our community.
Okay.
Case in point, you can be working on children and nutrition. There is malnutrition within the community. So you have to make sure that there is a need. We are seeing the children are malnourished. So you have to apply and say that you have to reach more people within your community. So most times it's need. That's why we have to apply for these funds. Another reason is that already the funds are available. If the funders have provided the funds within their organization, for example, Rockefeller Foundation, Gates Foundation, if the funds are available and the cause are provided for, why can't you apply for those funds? So it is within our mandate to see that we have to apply for these funds.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Mr. Luganda would then want to understand. I have gotten to know what grant proposal writing is. You have interested me with the importance of, making sure that I have my grant proposal written. But just paint us a picture. Paint for someone out there that is watching us right now, your expertise in this particular field. What are some of the things that you've come across, in this field of grant proposal writing? One, in terms of the challenges. Let's begin there.
Okay. As an expert in grant proposal writing, I've seen a number of organizations. Normally, they don't see it as a challenge, but they normally make these minor, small mistakes of not understanding the deadlines. Most times when a call comes in, you have to understand the deadlines. And also you have to see that what you are writing is in line with the mission and vision of the funders.
Let's first go back there on the deadlines. Why is it important for me to know that, okay, this is the deadline for this particular call?
I'll go back, like I will tell you that case in point, here at Astute Strategists, we make sure that we collect all the calls into one catalog. So we understand when this call comes in, when this comes in. So we understand that at least we have to see that the deadlines are being what? We understand the deadlines. We prepare on time to see that at least when someone submits, they submit even a month before or 2 weeks before the close of the call.
Does it give me an upper hand if, for example, I submitted a call for proposals? Does it give me an upper hand to be considered way before someone that has submitted last minute?
Oh my God, it gives you an upper hand. Actually, it's a great advantage for you. So whenever you are applying for these funds, make sure that in the first 2 weeks, you have submitted the call. Reason is that most of our funders, they get interested to see that they have released the call and people are submitting. They are really submitting, and in their meetings, they will ask them as a grant manager, how many people have submitted. He will explain that so far 10 have submitted, 5 have submitted in the particular sectors. But if you submit in the last 2 days, you'll find that even the system will get bombarded and the internet may fail, and also the MBs for that call may get finished. Okay. Many people have submitted. As a person, they can't even read your call because many have submitted. So I advise most of the CSOs, social enterprises, to see that they take this as a priority. Okay. But I'll tell you one thing, Olivier, that most of the organizations, they're having the directors. Directors, some of the directors are very busy. They're having a busy schedule. They are working on the compliance. They are working on a number of issues. So this is where Astute comes in. In case you see a call, kindly forward it so that we can guide you, so that we can walk with you through that journey. Okay. I know it's a difficult journey, and these are due to our experience and due to our work we do with a number of consultants at Astute. We can work with you on time to see that you submit and do other tasks on your desk. Okay. Then, because you may find you can have one call and you spend a full month looking for the compliance, looking for these letters, looking for what. So if you can offload
that burden
and give it to
and look for
and look for other calls, yeah, it can work for you.
Okay, Mr. Luganda, take us through the other challenges that you have seen or common mistakes that have been done by many of the social enterprises in terms of grant proposal writing.
Many are not following the priorities of the funders. They're not following the guidelines. First, when you get this proposal, when you get a call, or whenever, not a call, but whenever someone talks to you, understand exactly what they need. What are their priorities? Okay. And we have to also understand what are the categories of these grants. Are they multilateral? Are they bilateral grants? Are they local district grants? Are they government grants? What are these type of grants which I'm applying? So you have to understand the priorities of these organizations and make sure that you drill much in line. You align your writing within their mission and vision, exactly what they stand for. If it's an organization, if it's a call for women, make sure that you are not gender blind whenever you are writing these proposals.
Wow.
I see many proposals come out when they are gender blind. So many funders right now, we on women empowerment, we have mainstreamed gender within all the sectors. Even the government has tried to see that women, where gender is mainstream, all the sectors and projects. Then for you come up with a project, you are gender blind, you don't have even how you are going to do the gender disaggregation reports, the reporting. So how will you win such a call? And we face a number of challenges. Many challenges are coming out, but also it's according to a grant and also a person who's applying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the issue of honesty. I have come across cases where people are writing grants for their social enterprises, yet even their social enterprises are not tailored for that need. In terms of fraud and dishonesty, how do we stand as a country? Because we've seen people even get money for grants that their social enterprises do not even do.
Actually,
have you come across that?
Actually, at Astute, that's one of our role. Let me tell you that. Credentialing projects and organizations, that's the first role of Astute. We may leave other things. We have been hired to see that we walk the talk. For you, you may be implementing a project. You don't know that Astute is available. We have to come up at the back to see, is it true what you are doing? Are the numbers on ground? Did you construct the bore? Did you drill the boreholes within the region? You said you're working in Karamoja. You have built over 100 boreholes. Are you doing that? So we do the credential. And Olivia, I want to tell you one thing that even the viewers, that we have a challenge in Africa, not only in Uganda, where many people are not honest. They gather funds. They don't implement what they are doing. So the reason why Astute came, we saw a big challenge. And we saw a big challenge that many people, although evaluators and monitoring experts are available, but the issue of credentialing and also understanding, is the project implemented on time? Are they the exact people who are getting the benefits of the project? What is being done? So many funders have come to us, we shall not mention, have come to us to see that we can follow up a number of projects and we give reports without you, the implementer, knowing that we came on ground.
Well, that's what you tried there, Mr. Luganda.
To see that we do that.
So tell me that the donors actually have to go through you to make sure that they fast track progress of some of these social enterprises. I think that is a concern that if you are watching us out there and you own a CS or an NGO or any other social enterprise, and you think you're actually being smart, Astute Strategists is actually here to play the watchdog role. And just in case you are gotten on the wrong side, chances are high you might actually lose out on possibilities of future funding. I didn't know about that. Mr. Luganda, are there any other challenges that social enterprises face in terms of grant proposal
But
writing,
I'll add on that what I've said earlier is that every time you are not honest with yourself, you are failing your organization.
Okay.
And our role is to see that we train and also give capacity to social enterprises. They come up with bankable proposals, or they come up with a number of items or work to do. But remember, when you're not honest as a civil society, you will not get the funds. Normally during our capacity building, mentorship of these social enterprises, we tell them that funders are funny. They make a call, you apply, or even if they have not made the call, you apply. They give you $5,000, $20,000. That is little money they give you, and they want to try you to see that are you implementing, are you doing what we want. So they send in organizations like Astute behind you to do that work.
That groundwork.
So that groundwork, we give even our reports. You see, next time you're not given the funds.
And you question why.
And you question yourself. You start writing emails. We have seen a challenge of people, organizations coming to us. One has written over 15 emails to a funder that check we implemented very well. Why can't you come back to us to see that we can do the scaling up? Also, there is scaling up of the project. So again, the funder chooses another person or another organization instead of you apply the project. And mostly CSOs have been telling us, check, these are simple things we can do within our community. Why can't they give us the money? You are not doing it well.
But yet the mistakes they made in the past. Mr. Luganda, during my reading, I also noticed or read that a couple of social enterprises, most especially in Africa, after all is said and done, the element of reports is not well done. And it's been a huge challenge. Even in trying to, like, say, write grant proposals for the second time coming. What's your experience with that?
My experience on reporting, actually, one of the projects I was working on, the UNEP Ebafosa project, were implementing climate action solutions within central Uganda and the cattle corridor, mainly the cattle corridor, Gomba, Nakaseke, to see that we implement this climate action project. My manager or my boss in Nairobi was drilled much on reporting. Make sure you report. And most of the reason why most of our social enterprise have failed is lack of reporting. You may find that most of the international organizations, or for example, USAID, or they make one deliverable and they bring the media, report on it, make videos, success stories. They make even the podcasts. So for us as the local NGOs or social enterprises, we don't want to report. Even we don't want to make any comment or to make any post on Twitter, on X, on LinkedIn, or on Facebook. And when we report, what we write is not what we implemented. We don't bring up the success stories, the voices of the women, the voices of the children on ground, the voices of the men, the voices of the local leaders, the community, what's the government saying? So you find that we don't get the exact data of the project. And yet, if we report, that is data which we give even to the funders, and also the funders, they have where they get their money from. And that's what they give to the people. Check, this is implemented in Kamuli. The pregnancy rate is
this much.
Yeah, is this much. And this social enterprise made sure that they reduce this, and children are now in school. The girls are now entering universities. They are having some actions they are doing. But for you actually, when you don't report well, you are doing a disservice to that young girl in Kamoli. You are
not only your organization,
not only the organizations, even to the country. They are not hearing that voice. Make sure that the voice is being heard. So if you don't report, you are doing a disservice also to the community, even to the country. So now we need to make sure that we give capacity to these civil society organization, and that's our role at Astute.
Mr. Luganda, are there any other challenges that you could make mention of, or?
Rejection.
Let's go to rejection. It was going to be a question on its own, but let's go to it.
Yeah, okay.
Why are many of our grant proposals rejected? But also speak to the issue of rejection. What could be some of the contributing factors?
Okay. Rejection is part of the process. That's what I'll tell the people.
Okay.
Rejection is part of the process in whenever you are finding or in fundraising, and also rejection must make us strong to see that next time we shall win. You may find that at least 70% whenever you write, that you submit or you want anything or you are proposing something, you don't get it.
Mr. Luganda, doesn't it make working in the social enterprise sector quite difficult?
It's not difficult because I've seen big organizations where I've worked. You apply for 20, you get 3. You apply for 10, you get 3 or you get 4. So the biggest percentage ever, you are being rejected. I myself have an experience with my colleague in Nairobi who applied for scholarships. Over 50, got 3. So the reason is that most of us, we don't know what to do.
Okay.
We just fall into the system. We open up organizations.
We see someone opening up an NGO, we're like, even me, I can
copy and paste. You see your colleague is working within the children, is working with the children, is having an orphanage, is having a social enterprise, making fuel briquettes or working with plastic. Next day you open up without getting experience, without having mentorship.
That background knowledge.
That is contributing to rejection.
Okay.
I make to be most of the organizations or grant managers, whenever they apply, they don't want to read the rejection messages. And I myself, whenever we write and we get rejection, we have to read why. We have to answer why.
I thought you just let it go
No.
and concentrate on something else. And
That's what we tell civil society organizations and social enterprises to make sure that give us those messages. Actually, we have clients we are working with. They had a number of rejections, emails, and we told them, print per rejection, give it to us. We analyzed.
Okay.
We saw the compliancy was not in line. They weren't compliant. They weren't writing in line with the mission of the funders. The money, the funds they were asking for, they couldn't handle such funds. Even another client who applied with one of the it was Koika. They made sure they had to hand in the proposal. It was something which was rough. He had not even presented the papers very well in the file.
Wait.
The thing was dirty. He had put it in the bag. He had even, let me go even to small things which these funders look. Even the lines, the spacing of the words
so
you are having in your proposal. They have told you to write 200 words. You are writing 600 words.
That can also lead to rejection?
Very well. It means that if they give you their money, you will not implement what they have told you.
You'll go overboard.
Make sure that whenever you are given guidelines, read those guidelines one by one. That's why we have told you that we need time to see that you spend like 3 days reading the guidelines, understanding them, and most of us, we don't pay attention to detail. They may be 4 lines, but you're not understanding those 4 lines. Someone is telling you 200 words. Actually, that person is making sure that you provide exactly, you be precise, concise, and also make sure that you inform within what you are writing. So rejection rates are very high within this sector, and many people have run away to say that no, maybe and also I will make sure you need to know as a person who's there that things have changed. The narrative has changed. After 10 years, many new fund managers are coming in, softwares are coming in. Africa is facing different challenges.
Okay.
People are using old work to inform the current.
Even funding priorities.
Funding priorities have changed. the donors have changed. Right now, if you check into the climate circle, we are onto carbon markets, loss and damage, climate resilience and adaptation. The way we write, someone needs a project which is holistic, handling a number of issues, and also the reporting has changed. We have a number of partners. You find one project having over 4 partners. So different institutions, CSOs, intergovernmental organizations, multilateral organizations, government.
So Mr. Luganda, what you're trying to say is that even your grant proposal writing has to fit the trends.
Perfect.
Okay.
But also we have to look on the role of collaboration. We shouldn't lose collaboration and partnership.
Eating alone, wanting to thrive alone.
In Africa, that's what we want. Like, we want to eat
Luganda.
alone. We want to work alone. How can you work alone on a project having over $1 million?
I know, right?
If IFAD has made a call of $1.5 million, I see a small civil society organization wants to apply for that fund alone. How? You can't win that.
Okay.
You have to understand the nitty-gritties. IFAD is working with government, is working with intergovernmental organizations. As a CSO, you may have the capacity, but you may know how to write, but in your mandate, you are not meant to win that fund.
Okay.
You need to work.
Because you lack collaboration with people that have also different capacities.
The funder is looking for that multidisciplinarity within you, that having a university on board, having a CSO on board, a social enterprise on board, intergovernmental organization like IGAD on board, and you need coming up with something which is holistic.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may go boundaries. In climate change circle, we have what we call climate change without boundaries, or climate without boundaries. Remember, what happens in Congo affects what is happening in Uganda. Case in point, the cyclones which are happening in Mozambique, Madagascar, they affect us here in Uganda. You see the floods within Mozambique and Tanzania. Here we are facing a dry spell.
You actually remind me of one of the parks that we have that is close to the border between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And every time it rains upstream, the flooding, comes and affects the animals that are this side of the border.
So as a person who's writing a project, you have to understand that what I'm writing will benefit Kenya, Uganda. So some funders are looking for that. But to go back on mainly rejection and what, so there are many factors running around rejection, and we need to fight hard.
So Mr. Luganda, just before we continue with this particular discussion, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you have just tuned in right now, the discussion that we are having today is under financial management for social enterprises. But in more specific terms, we are handling the component of grant proposal writing. Why it's important, what components actually go into it, the challenges that social enterprises are faced along the way. But we are also going to be, looking at some of the solutions. Right now, what we have just handled is the element of rejection. Many social enterprises have faced rejection. But Mr. David Luganda is right here to actually tell us how we can avert this particular one. But I'd also love to remind you to leave a comment. First of all, follow Astute Strategists on all social media platforms. And the name is simple, Astute Strategists. But also leave us a comment behind these particular discussions. What else would you want to have us discuss for the benefit of your social enterprise? Mr. Luganda, you have talked about rejection. You have talked about some of the challenges. So, in brief, can you list for us what the ideal proposal, the ideal grant proposal should look like? What should it look like? What are those components that it should have so that it's not rejected?
Wow. I've told you one thing that many people are writing. They write a document. If you do video, even if some are not requested, they submit video or their ideas. I may not mention the full because all funders have what they need.
Okay.
With working with summary or abstract introduction, objectives, methodology on how you're going to apply the outcomes, impacts, the budget. So all those are just listing them. So many funders or organizations where we apply for the funds, they have their criteria.
Yes.
Or they have their eligibility on exactly what they need. So what USAID is asking, GIZ may not ask for that, ABI Trust may not ask for that, or Investigative Journalism Association may not ask for that. So make sure that, I'll mention in Luganda that tetubikwata bukusu.
Okay.
Let us...
My Luganda is not that good.
Tetubikwata bukusu. So we have to make sure that what we write is what is being asked, so that we may fight rejection.
Okay.
Someone, because this is a conversation, someone may be there, so this is what they told us. Introduction, summary, methodology, objectives, outcomes, budget, and what. So
the first component is stick to what has been asked.
Read exactly what is the call. Even if someone has not made a call, if you are talking to someone, because most of the proposals come in, and I also mentioned about unsolicited proposals.
What are
unsolicited proposals? So we are, as experts, whenever we train these social enterprises at Astute, we normally tell them some of the proposals they may not call, they may not make calls, but you may see a need within your community.
Okay.
Case in point, you may, for example, we are here, you may see that there are a number of accidents under the border sector, and also there are no lines, marks within the roads, no zebra crossing. You may see an idea, you may see a gap as an innovative person, and you say, why can't I write a concept note about this?
Okay. Then
I work with it within, I submit it, or I email it within this sector, because there are a number of funds which are given for that, for awareness campaign within the transport sector.
So, Mr. Luganda, what you're trying to say is that for cases, for example, for the unsolicited grant proposals, you might not necessarily follow the same criteria like the solicited ones. Okay.
But for that, you have to write a concept note, which you have to write a small concept note, which is 1 pager or 2 pages, but it has to be 1 pager whenever you are writing for those unsolicited. But also, to go back, many organizations, they call for a concept note, which is a proposal, because a proposal is a detailed, is what you are going to do, what you are going to entail. A lot is within the proposal. You are proposing to someone like marriage. You are proposing to the funder. It's detailed. So most of these organizations, what they call a concept note is a proposal. Okay. So you have to...
So we have a tendency of confusing the two.
It's not a tendency. I'll go back to what I've said. The criteria in the call, someone what they've told you to write.
Matters.
Don't just come with you what you need. Yeah? We have a tendency of that within our community. Okay. Many people, they want to do what is on their heart. That for me, this is what I learned, this is what I will write. They would actually, that proposal will end on the secretariat. It will end on the secretary or the volunteers, because to tell you that most of the proposals we apply, they are being evaluated because they are stages. By the time they reach in those offices to see that the grant manager looks at them. First of all, we have the desk, which most the volunteers, these officers, they say, now this one, I'll check the title, he has not aligned.
The first words 3 things are wrong.
Those nitty-gritties out. Then goes on another stage. So by the time they reach to the bosses, they get exactly...
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. So it's competitive. Okay. So much competitive. So that you have to work with a number of partnerships, collaboration, and also making use of Astute. That's why we are available.
Wow. Okay, so Mr. Luganda, as we continue with this particular discussion, the element of research comes in vividly, and we'd love you to interest us. Why is research a very important component when it comes to grant proposal writing? But also, could you interest us with some of the key areas where social enterprises should actually focus during, grant proposal writing?
I'll dwell much on research. Actually, at Astute Strategy, one of our components is research, informed research, whenever we are developing these projects. It has been a bigger challenge within our organizations, social enterprises, where one is writing, sitting on a desk, writing a concept note without even making a survey. So you have to be informed in order to make sure that you follow within the priorities of the funder. Because sometimes they will ask you a question, why are you implementing this project? You have all the answers, but one is asking you, for example, it's a startup. Why are you making yogurt out of this milk? Why are you making soya yogurt? Because we have seen such social enterprise working within the agriculture sector. So if someone asks you that, you have to answer that question with data.
Statistical
Data means you have done some research. Case in point, you have said there's a number of malnutrition within Karamoja region or within Busoga region. This is the research we made. These are the households we reached. It may be a simple one. The key informants, we asked some of the experts within the nutrition sector. We worked with this NGO or social enterprise. Then we came up, we saw that if we are given funds, if we are given the $20,000, we can do a small cottage industry, make sure that we provide soya yogurt at a cheaper price and better than milk, because soya has all the nutrients. Actually, soya is having a bigger
Mr. Luganda, can you write for me that proposal and we do?
No. Actually, no. I want to interest the funders to see that at least the role of research. So, soy has more importance or more nutrients compared even to like milk, and it's very cheap.
Wow.
I'll interest you to go and read about Brazil and their soya crop. It's one of their cash crop. It's within all the homes because it has numerous products out of it. So, to go back to research, you have to make sure that you do the research very well as an organization and never submit something without having informed data.
Okay.
Because at one stage, even you will say that I'm going to implement in Kamuli, I'm going to implement in Gomba or where. So whenever you go to those places, they'll ask you some of the exact places. They'll reach there, even people are having the food, people are not malnourished. Then
yet you said in your proposal,
they'll bring organizations like us to do the credentialing or to do the fact checking. Is it because we have one who are doing that? So to do that, also to add on that is that to wind up is that donors are having a bigger challenge. They're giving out funds to many organizations. They don't know if the organizations are implementing these projects. And there's a reason why Astute came in. It's due to the need of the donors to know exactly, is our work being implemented? Are these organizations ready to get the funds? Because you may be very good at everything, but you don't know even to handle the funds. You can't even do anything. So this is the reason as why Astute Strategists is within the place, to see that civil society organizations, social enterprises within the country, they are within the line. They are working within the line. Okay. So we have come to see that we walk the journey with you. We change the narrative. We rethink the way social enterprises are working. And because out there, they expect you to have some of these small things we don't want to do. Okay. So as a consultant at Astute, I advise all the organizations to make sure that you visit us, you see what we are doing, and we work with you. Thank you.
All has been said and done. The ball is in your court as a social enterprise. And as I keep stressing every single time, look at the economics in this. Instead of you hiring 2 departments or 3 departments to make sure that they sit down and draft this grant-winning proposal, How about you narrow it down, offload that burden from your social enterprise, and come give it to Astute Strategists, because they have the consultants that will make things happen within a snap. Olivia Nakalembe is my name, and today I have been riding alongside Mr. David Luganda, a consultant right here at Astute Strategists with expertise in grant proposal writing. Try them and your social enterprise will never be the same again. For now, it's a bye from me.